What's going on, y'all? It's your man, Stephen Bardo, coming at you with another edition of Bardo's Breakdown. Just wanted to come on and talk a little bit today. I know it's been a minute. There's kind of a quiet time in college basketball anyway. Um, so a lot of things are coming together. We see the ACC and Big 12, no, ACC and SEC have a challenge now, and boy, they some good games. So that's going on. We see NCAA meeting on a few different topics in terms of what's coming up, what's coming down the pipeline in terms of NCAA legislation. It looks like they're going to close the window of allowing transfers from a 60-day window to a 30-day window. So that will be interesting. So just wanted to come and touch you guys about what's happening over the summer break for college basketball, answer any questions that you all may have, and just touch base with you. It's been relatively quiet without, if you take the transfer portal out, that's been really exciting. The transfer portal, some would describe it as exciting. Some would describe it as nerve-wracking. I know those coaches are pulling their hair out because it's been crazy, and we can talk about that a little bit. But first, I kind of wanted to talk about this, man. I know Bob Huggins was West Virginia's head coach, and he's not in the Big Ten, and I generally stay in the Big Ten conference to talk. But this is a guy that I have great respect for. I love Huggy Bear. He has his issues just like everyone else does. I don't know what his status is right now in terms of after he resigned, after his DUI situation in Pittsburgh. I don't know what he's going to do. I know that he's probably set financially, which is not an issue, but he's an old school coach. And I get concerned about these guys because when they're not coaching, sometimes these types of coaches don't do well when they finish, and he didn't finish on his own terms. So I've waited a little bit in terms of trying to reach out to him and connect with him. Wanted the firestorm to kind of blow over a little bit, let things settle, and I will reach out to him. But I was in tears when I heard about it, because he is a guy who, on the surface, you look at Bob Huggins and you think, this guy's a maniac. Like, he goes after his players, this, that. But when a guy has an issue, he'll be the first person to take him to the hospital, or to take care of his mother when something's going on at home, or if one of his players has a sibling that has some issues, Bob Huggins will see to it that those issues are taken care of. The players that play for him love him. Was he a hard driving coach? Yes. Did he push the envelope and operate in the gray areas? Yes. But was he a hell of a coach? Yes, he was. One of the best to ever do it. And he's a genuine dude. And I love the guy. And I was hurting for him. And I'm hoping that he could make a graceful transition into whatever he's going to do. I hope someone will keep him around the basketball community, because his mind is too sharp to not for people not to be able to tap in to his vast knowledge of experience and information in the game of basketball. So I just wanted to shout out Bob Huggins. Feeling for my man. If he's watching this, or if he sees this, love you, Hugs. Take care of yourself, partner. And I hope to see you soon. One thing that kind of surprised me about this player movement, Rutgers has had a number of guys kind of decommit and leave unexpectedly. Paul McCahey being one of them. Cam Spencer was a little bit of a surprise because it was so late, but he ends up with the defending national champion UConn Huskies. So he definitely, I would say it. Going from Rutgers to UConn, that's an upgrade. Not necessarily from a conference standpoint, but from a program standpoint, that's definitely an upgrade. And you know what? Maybe Steve Pikiell had something to do with that, because Pikiell played at UConn. He's played the same time that I played at Illinois. So, once he figured out Cam was trying to leave, he may have put a call in to Coach Hurley and said, look, we got one of the better shooters in the country. And I'm sure Coach Hurley knew about him. Rutgers has had their issues, but Illinois, this is a head scratcher here because Jeremiah Williams, when he committed after RJ Dennis committed to Baylor, Illini fans were very happy about Jeremiah coming on board. Veteran guard, had some really good seasons, had 2 good seasons at Temple, transferred to Iowa State, got hurt. He's coming off an injury. So I don't know what it was because I found out via Jeremiah's Twitter page that he was decommitting from Illinois. So I'm not sure. I haven't gotten the backstory on that yet. I'm sure I will once I talk to people down there. But it's unfortunate because he was going to step in and play. I mean, if he was healthy and his credits transferred, he was going to step in and probably be handed the keys to the program. Because as everybody knows, it's no secret, the Illini don't have a true point guard necessarily on their roster. They've got guys that can play the point guard position, but Jeremiah Williams was going to be a needed addition to what the Illini are trying to do. So Brad Underwood and his crew will go back to the drawing board. Got to pay some bills, y'all. Hold on for a second. Hey, parents, do you have a teenager that loves sports but may not be talented enough to retire you in the next 10 years? Then you should consider getting the Art of Sportscasting ebook. Art of Sportscasting is an introductory ebook into the exciting world of sports broadcasting. Your teenager will learn the importance of presentation skills, how to think quickly on the fly, how to work with teams, and develop their confidence through repetition and so much more. I've been really blessed to become one of the best sportscasters over the last 25 years. And I want to share my knowledge and experience to help develop the next generation of sportscasters. Once your teenager finishes this insightful ebook, they will surely want to join the Art of Sportscasting monthly community. It's a fun and exciting community that your kids will love. Go to theartofsportscasting.com to find out more. Get your ebook, The Art of Sportscasting, today. Holla, y'all. Hey, parents, do you have a teenager that loves... Didn't want to do that again. Did it once. Had to get that in. All right. Let me see. I got a few questions over here. If you want to join the tribe, that is the Inner Circle of Bardo's Breakdown. Text me to 312-847-2739. There's actually 3 ways you can join the tribe. You can text me here, or you can join the email. You can go to stephenbardo.com/college-basketball-newsletter. That's stephenbardo.com/college-basketball-newsletter. You can also join the Bardo's Breakdown group on Facebook. That's where a lot of the action is going. I used to do a lot more on the page, but now Facebook has changed what they're doing. And so you get way more engagement with groups. And so go to Bardo's Breakdown group. We've got 2,300 on the group, and it's growing every day. And got a very active tribe community. So you can join via text. We've got about 250 people on the text. We've got about 700 on the email group, and we've got 2,300 on Bardo's Breakdown group. So there's 3 ways to become a tribe member, an inner circle of Bardo's Breakdown. All right. Let me go over here. Andrew Moody, my man. What's up, Andrew Moody? Good to see you. Alabama-Clemson matchup was definitely all about marketing due to their football run-ins in recent national championship games. Yeah, Andrew, they're always trying to have fun and put intriguing matchups together because those 2 fan bases are as passionate about college football as any in the country. And so it's going to be interesting to see how that shakes out on the basketball side. No, Andrew. Bob Huggins is slower now. He's 70. So he doesn't respond as quickly. He likes to take his time. He doesn't care about ticking people off. I'm laughing because it warms my heart. Because if you know the guy, he's got this gruff exterior, and he looks unapproachable. He's a sweetheart. For those that he likes, he loves you. He's a loyalist, but he's not the type he's not a Jay Wright type that's going to get in front of the camera and be presentable and know when to get in and get out. That's not his style. So it would be fascinating. Now here's the deal, Andrew. See, me and you call a game like ESPN has been doing with these alternate broadcasts. Me and you were calling the game with Huggins sitting there. Oh, baby. Now that would be that he would be excellent in that regard, where he doesn't have the traditional standards and the in and out and things like that. If he could do something a little bit more freestyle, he'd be good at that. He'd blow Bill Walton out of the water. I'm telling you. Hey, Kerry, thank you, man. I appreciate it. If you, I don't know if I've seen you on here, Kerry. If I have, I apologize, but you look new. If you are, welcome to Bardo's Breakdown. Join Bardo's Breakdown group. You won't be disappointed. Wes K, how can you expand so many superlatives for a guy who is openly homophobic and uses such bigoted language for LGBTQ plus folks? Some of us thought his resignation was overdue. Well, Wes, I mean, you can look from afar and judge people, right? Because you have things that aren't as favorable if you were to let them out. So Coach Huggins obviously has an issue around his alcohol usage. And so those homophobic language and things may have come out after he was drinking or whatnot. And it doesn't matter whether it came out during his drinking or not. It's not right. We can agree with that. But there's things about things that I've said and some of the stances that I have that would piss people off, right? So it's easy to sit back and judge other people and, throw darts at them and whatnot. But there's a reason why he continued being a head coach when you thought his resignation was overdue. Okay? So I respect your opinion. I appreciate you taking a strong stance and sharing that opinion, but I don't get into people's personal stuff. That's for everybody else. That's in another platform. I don't do that. I still think Bob Knight is the best coach in college basketball history. Now, did he treat players necessarily well? No. Was he necessarily a great guy? No. But I don't get into that. I talk basketball and I talk strategy and I talk coaches and what I know about the coaches. And I love Huggins for all of his faults. And would he want to take back the bigoted terms that he was using? Of course he would. Of course he would. He didn't get this far by being a fool, right? So you may not agree, Wes, and I respect what you're saying. I do. I appreciate you taking a strong stance. That's part of what makes this platform what it is. It's not me. It's you guys coming strong with your opinions. So thank you, Wes. I appreciate that. But I like to caution people that it's easy to really judge people, but hey, put a mirror up. We all got stuff that people can pinpoint. Okay. So, but thank you, Wes. Thank you for tuning in, and always thank you for your support and your strong take. It's much appreciated. Bob Huggins might be the last of the old school coaches. All his guys are some dogs. Yes. Facebook user. Yes. He might be the last of the Mohicans. And, was all of it positive? Of course not. None of these coaches, none of them. Jay Wright is not perfect. Although he looks perfect, good looking, sharp dresser, Jay Wright has given me nothing but love in person. Great dude. Mike Krzyzewski, Bill Self, Jim Boeheim. We could bring all of these great college coaches out. They all got some shit to them because all of us have some shit to all of us, right? So, I tend to, I want you guys to feel free to say what you need to say. And then I'm going to say what I need to say. And again, that's one of the beauty, and that's why I love doing this, because you guys are very knowledgeable and you don't mind setting the tone in a conversation like this. So thank you very much. I wouldn't ever make bigoted remarks on the radio. I hope you wouldn't do that either. I wouldn't, Wes, because black people can't afford to do that to begin with. Let's just kick it real. I'm African American. We're held by a different standard. So we can't make those type of mistakes because our career would be over. And I don't think like that. I have LGBTQ plus people in my family. So I don't think like that. I don't harbor those same feelings as Coach Huggins. And so no, I wouldn't say that on the radio. And I wouldn't say anything like that in public because I don't feel that way. I don't agree with him, and I didn't even really hear what he said. But I don't agree with the stance of bashing LGBTQ plus community. I don't. That's not my thing because I have family members that are in that community, so I have great respect for that community. But thank you, Wes. Andrew Icefeld, what's up, Andrew? In June, looking forward to next season. Andrew, it's going to be a fun season. Whether they get a veteran point guard into the fold or not, I don't think it will matter. I think there's so much talent on the roster. They have Morelli. I think he's gonna surprise some people. I don't know that he'll start and take the load at the point, but he's gonna play. I think he'll play. Physically, I got to check in to see how he's doing physically because that was one of the questions, whether he'd be able to hold up to the physicality. But I think in spot time, in spot minutes, 5 minutes here, 6 minutes there, I think he's going to be very effective because he comes highly recommended from Brian Cardinal, who I respect dearly. And, Brian Cardinal's like a family member to me because Rod Cardinal's a father figure. Brian Cardinal is big in USA basketball with those international basketball academies. He talked about this young man and talked very, very highly of him. So I think that he will be able to help University of Illinois in their point guard position. Are the Illini flirting with disaster, talking about all about no point guard with at least two thinking they are it? The Illini sure are good at losing players. Well, I don't know if the Illini are more adept at losing players than anyone else. I mean, it's kind of the thing right now. There are 1,800 players that went into the transfer portal in college basketball. That's a lot of players, right? So we can focus on Illinois, but 1,800 players is obviously not just Illinois that's having players commit and then decommit or move on. So, ask Rutgers. Ask, Michigan lost their guys to, they had 2 first-round draft picks. But let me think. Northwest, Chase Audige left to go pro as well. But there are other Big Ten programs that have had some player movement. So Illinois is not the only one. That was Haven. Oh, okay. What's up, Haven? Good to see you, bro. Long time no hear from. Glad you tuned in. What's up, Keith Dalton? Thank you, partner. Did you think Coach Frazier has a lot to do with Illinois becoming up and coming in the Big Ten because his talent with recruiting and coaching in the past at powerhouse programs? Patrick, it definitely helped. Chester Frazier, I think you guys, if you had a chance to spend some time around Chester, you would love him. Because if you love basketball, this dude, now, he gets off the court, he's all his family. He's a great family guy. Love his wife. He's got a new baby. I think he's got a baby boy. And I think he has 2 other children. So he's got 3. So he's a great father, great husband. But boy, he's a basketball savant. And, the stories he talks about, like he didn't shake dude's hands. You remember when he shouldered Eric Gordon when they came in town from Indiana. I mean, he's a basketball lifer. And you would love being around him. And so, yes, his relationships, his ability to recruit, coaching under Bruce Weber, because Bruce Weber is one of the best tacticians in college basketball. It certainly helped. So, yes, him coming back to his alma mater, feeling that pride, because he already had a sense of pride, but feeling that extra sense of pride, being in the Illini, coming back, being able to really help his program has meant a lot. Thanks for tuning in, Patrick. Appreciate you. Big Ten Network is currently airing some random old Big Ten softball game. Can we get like a 1-hour weekday show with you and a rotating co-host to just talk college hoops and more? Andrew, keep that under your sleeve, bro. You know why? Because you would be smarter than the network executives. Trust me. With that one idea, you'd be smarter than the network executives. That would make a lot of sense, wouldn't it? But don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath. Linnea Jones. What's up, Linnea? We have many talented, deep teams, and we haven't won since 2000. Do you think Izzo struggles with deep, talented teams in terms of coaching? No. It's hard to win a national championship. That's why the Big Ten hasn't won one since 2000, Linnea. It's hard. It's hard to win a conference title, let alone win 6 games in a row against the best teams in the country. That's hard to do. So I don't think he struggles coaching talented teams. It's just other talented teams around the country. And I know you being a Michigan State fan, so your world is Michigan State. But, there's a whole world with Kansas fans and Duke fans and Texas fans and Baylor fans and Illinois fans. It's a lot of really good programs. And Coach Izzo is a Hall of Fame coach. And just because he hasn't won since 2000 doesn't indicate, to me at least, Linnea, it might to you, it might to others, but to me, he just went out and got a McDonald's All-American. I'm giving you a hint about what's coming, Bardo's tribe, Bardo's Breakdown tribe. I interviewed his high school coach earlier today to get some insight on him and on Xavier Booker, McDonald's All-American, that Tom Izzo recruited so well that this is a McDonald's All-American. Xavier Booker was the highest rising player in the country. The summer between his junior and senior years, he was the highest rising player in the country. He took his official visit to Michigan State, and I believe he had 3 official visits left. He wouldn't take them. Tom Izzo impressed he and his family so much that he's like, you know what? I know where I'm going. This kid could have gone Duke, Kansas, all the Big Ten schools offer. He could have gone anywhere. So I think you're in for a really special season, and I think you're going to be in for probably a pretty impressive 2 to 3 year run here from Michigan State, because the talent they have on their team, the toughest job that Tom Izzo is going to have to do this season is be able to keep all the players on that roster. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. Not that it has anything to do with his ineptness or his inability. It's just the way things are right now. These kids, these young men have a lot of people in their ear. If they're not getting sufficient playing time, they get people in their ear that aren't at practice every day, that don't go to class with them, that don't see the struggles that they're going through. They just see the fact that this young man's not on the floor. So that's going to be Tom Izzo's toughest job this season. It's not going to be coaching sideline. It's going to be keeping these guys engaged and pulling in one direction, because they have, I mean, I hear Duke might be preseason number 1, but I don't think Duke has more talent on their roster than Michigan State. I really don't. Top to bottom, I don't think there's a better roster in the country. Hope that helps. But thanks, Linnea. I appreciate you always tuning in. Oh, okay. Okay. See, Patrick's got inside information. Thank you for sharing that, Patrick. Appreciate it. Ron Charles. What's up, Ron? Of course, it's hard to win national, but why in your eyes has if you look, there's 3 things that you need to win a national title. You need elite point guard play. You need a whole lot of luck, and you need future NBA players. So, Ron, if you were to look at it, has Duke, I think Duke and Connecticut have 3 titles in that span, I believe. If you were to look at the programs with the most NBA players coming out of it, they would probably be in the top 5, Duke and Connecticut, over the last, what would that be, 23 years? So over the last 23 years, I haven't done that research. I'm going to write myself a note. Xavier's, Ron, thank you for doing that. I got to look that up. Most NBA players last 20 years. And I'm going to come back next time I come on, Ron. I'm going to have this information for you, because that was a good question that sparked some thought in me, and I will have that for you. I don't want to do that while we're on the show right now, because I want to get to these different questions, because we've got a few more people on. But you got to have elite point guard play. You got to be lucky to stay away from injury and the draw of who you get in the tournament. And you got to have future NBA players. And generally, you have to have. I think I've seen a team go with 2 potential NBA players, but generally the teams that win, they have at least 3 potential NBA players on that roster. So that's my formula for a national champion. So we'll see what happens with these Big Ten teams coming up this season. Hoop ball or scoop? My big question is, will Tom Izzo let them loose and play some, say Izzo keeps players in handcuffs? It will be interesting to see, though. I mean, hoop ball or scoop, I think that all coaches keep players in handcuffs to a certain extent because it's the nature of college basketball. College basketball coaches are control heavy because the players just don't have enough experience. They're not old enough and they're not skilled enough to let them go like that. Now, there are coaches at the college level that do that. Bobby Hurley at Arizona State, he throws his athletes out there and they go. Like they go. And I mean, they can come down 5 possessions in a row, no passes, and they'll just go up and jack one. And he kind of lets them play like that. But that's the exception. That's not the rule. Most college coaches are going to have a lot of control over the way their kids play. Now, for Izzo, I happen to think that he's going to let these guys play even more than he has in the past because Tom hasn't had this type of veteran crew like this, I think, in the last 10 years. This might be the most veteran team that Michigan State has had in the last 10 seasons. And I think what you'll see is a more advanced approach because when you come in the summertime and you start to build for that year and you're doing certain things, Tom Izzo doesn't necessarily have to do a whole lot of stuff. He's got so many veterans to talk to the young guys that he can go and maybe take the freshmen and give them what he expects and then add stuff earlier in the process because the team is so loaded with veterans. So I think you'll see a little bit different version of Michigan State this year. Great question. Jordan Clark of South Lakes High School in Virginia is being recruited heavily by Michigan State. Yeah, Patrick, Michigan State's getting after it, man. People thought Tom Izzo, he was going to check out like Boeheim and Krzyzewski and Roy Williams did. He had different plans. Like the SEC has Paul Feinbaum, ACC has Mark Packer. Big Ten really missing out on a big opportunity with the Daily Show. You preaching, Andrew. You preaching. Not that I would want to do a Daily Show because that's a grind. A Daily Show is a grind. That's hard to do. It seems easy. It's not easy. Please look into Jan Veed. Oh, dude. Kevin Lucas mentioned this kid, Jan Vide, I think how you pronounce his name. Man, he's tearing it up in this international tournament right now. I think it's a FIBA under 19 or something going on. John Rothstein did a little post on him, talked about how well he's playing and that he can step in and start right now for UCLA. Playmaker wing. I think he's about 6'6", 6'7". Yeah, I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him, Kevin. Thanks for that reminder there because we probably, in our preseason previews of all the teams and the players, we're going to include UCLA and USC, even though they don't come into the league until next season. We're going to treat them like they're here now. So great tip, Kevin. Thank you. And thanks for tuning in. I'm interested in how much improvement Shannon Jr. and Huggins will make. And if they make a big jump, how much noise can Illinois make? Kyrie Thompson. What's up, Kyrie? Are you new, Kyrie? I don't think I've seen you before. If you're new, welcome to Bardo's Breakdown. 2 rules. Be cool. Don't be a jerk. Don't be an a-hole. And come strong. Come strong to the hole. Because Bardo's Breakdown Tribe, and especially the tribe members, they throw that weak stuff out of here. But welcome, Kyrie, if this is your first time. Appreciate you tuning in. It will be interesting because Shannon Jr. and Hawkins got feedback from the NBA, and that, unfortunately, Kyrie, is more of a motivating factor than what their college coaches are trying to tell them. So I think that, I saw Coleman Hawkins the other day because his cousin, who is a gazillionaire, Marty Nesbitt, had the party of the, and it could have been the party of the decade, a crazy party. And Coleman and his family were there because he's related to Marty. I talked to him briefly. I talked to his dad more, and just trying to give his dad some things that I saw that he can relate back to Coleman. He wanted me to tell him directly, but since I didn't get a chance to pull Coleman to the side, I'll try to in the preseason. But, I think Kyrie for Coleman more so than Terrence, because Terrence is kind of one speed. He's all on. Coleman is still overthinking, in my opinion. And I want to see him this season go back to playing like he did when he was a kid. When you caught the ball, if you open, shoot it. If you guard it closely, put it on the deck. If your teammate comes open, throw him the ball. Simple stuff. And I think he got away from that. So it'll be interesting to see if he can improve on that aspect of his game. But welcome, Kyrie. Thank you. What's up, Pooh? Good to see you too. Michigan is going to be interesting because Trey Jackson, forward from Seton Hall, is coming in. Hold on. Let's see. Doug McDaniels will be the point. Jalen Llewellyn is back from the ACL tear. Taurus Reed Jr., who I love, I think will start in the center. Amari Burnett. They lost Caleb Love. Pardon me. I think that hurt. But Amari Burnett is a really good wing player, really good defensive player. I think he's got more offense than he showed at Alabama. So Michigan will be fine. I can't remember exactly their incoming freshmen, but they got some good ones. I should know that, Pook. I don't have it right in front of me, but they'll be competitive. I'm not sure that Michigan State's going to be rough. Purdue's going to be rough. Ohio State will be much improved. It's going to be the Big Ten again. It's going to be rugged. Michigan will be in the mix. I'm not sure if they'll be at the top of the mix though, because it's going to be something. What's up, Dave Crosby? You know what, Dave? Lou kind of held us back my freshman and sophomore years. But I think Dick Nagy and Jimmy Collins, God rest their souls, and Coach Henson, God rest his soul. I think that Coach Nagy and Coach Collins were able to explain to Lou, like, bro, you got these racehorses, and you can't treat them like Clydesdales. You got to let them go. And so, to his credit, Dave, I called a majority of the plays because we didn't want to be getting the ball out of the net once opponent scored. You take the ball out of the net, you get it inbounds, you walk it up the floor so the defense could get set. No, we wanted to run. So if they scored, made or missed, we're pushing. And then as I'm coming up the floor, if I see a mismatch, I'm calling Nick's number. I'm calling KB's number. Lowell's got a mismatch. He's going to bring a big on the perimeter. Kendall's got somebody he wants to take in the post. I got somebody I want to take in the post. I had a lot more free leeway to make calls on the fly. And to be honest, Dave, because of my hard-headedness and my stubbornness, there were times when Lou would make a call and I'd be, I wouldn't do that. But in my head, I'm like, man, shut up. I'm calling it because I see something that you don't see. Right. And so I would make a call. And if it worked out, he didn't have a problem with it. If it didn't work out, though, he let me know about it. So he kind of let us go. He let us play, especially in that Final Four year. He kind of let us go, and we were able to kind of see things on the fly and make adjustments. That's a great question. How many Big Ten players were taken in the first round? So you've got, let's see. Let me write this down. You got Murray. You got Chris Murray, who went to Portland. PDX. You've got Jet Howard, who went to Orlando, which is Big Ten South, because every year in the first round they pick a Big Ten player. They love Michigan players. Kobe Buffkin, and he went to Atlanta. Sensabaugh. I think Sensabaugh went to the Spurs. He went to San Antonio Spurs. Missing one. I'm missing the first rounder. Hold on. And let me see if I can do this here real quick, guys. NBA draft results. Who am I missing? There was another first rounder from the Big Ten. Why am I drawing a blank on this? All right, let's take a look. Jet Howard, 1. Kobe Buffkin, Jalen Hood-Schifino, that's who it was. 3. Chris Murray, 4. And Sensabaugh, 5. So there were 5 in the first round. Now it's interesting because Brandon Podziemski was on the bench at Illinois. He couldn't get off the bench. He transferred to Santa Clara, and he ends up being the 19th pick in the first round. This kid can play. So it could have been, I'm going to say it could have been 6, but so there were 5 players in the first round. Deontay. Amari Burnett is a great player. No, I love him. I love what I saw in the first and second rounds. Brandon Gaudin and I were on the 1s and 2s for Westwood One Radio for the South region, and we got a chance to see them play. And that dude can lock down. He's long arms. He's got, I think he's a little bit better athletically than he showed at Alabama. And I think he'll be featured more at Michigan. So I really, really like the way he plays. What's up, LaChina? Good to see you. Did you play or get to know Ben Wilson? And my pop says Marcus Liberty was better than Ben Wilson. LaChina, I appreciate it. Good to see you. I think if this is your first time, welcome to Bardo's Breakdown. I crossed paths with Ben, and I kind of shook hands. We dapped up. Cat said, "Oh, this is Bardo. He's from Carbondale." He was like, "Oh, all right, that's cool. That's good." And that was about the extent of it. Ben was going to come to Illinois, and he probably would have run the point guard position. So I probably would have been coming off the bench. He was that talented. I don't know if Coach Henson had the foresight to put him at the point guard position because he probably would have been best suited there. But Coach was old school, and I don't think he had the vision for that. But your pops is not far off. Marcus Liberty was, and the tribe, people that are on Bardo's Breakdown have heard me say this before. Marcus Liberty went to the wrong school. He should have gone to Syracuse. Because had Marcus gone to Syracuse, he probably would have been a 10-12 NBA year career. He played 3 or 4 years in the NBA with Denver and Detroit, but he probably would have had a 10 to 12 year career if he had gone to Syracuse because Jim Boeheim understood big guys like that. He had Billy Owens, who he let play on the perimeter. Marcus Liberty was more skilled than Billy Owens. Wasn't as strong, maybe wasn't as tough mentally and physically, but skill-wise, oh my gosh. And I was a Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year in the best conference in the country. I could lock down anybody. I couldn't do nothing with Marcus Liberty. I couldn't corral him. I couldn't keep him out of the paint. I couldn't bother a shot because he was 6'8", and he had a high release point. Marcus was the real deal. Seriously. One of the most underrated players that ever played at Illinois. So I would have loved to have seen Ben Wilson get stronger, had the ability to get in the weight room, and then make the comparison. But from what I saw in high school and then playing against him at Illinois, I'd have to give a slight edge to Marcus Liberty. He was that talented. Who do you got in the Aces versus Liberty game tonight? No, that's all right. Hoop Baller Scoop. You know, I love the WNBA. I could talk about that. I think the Liberty might get them tonight. Las Vegas has been rolling. They've only lost one game to the Connecticut Sun. They're a juggernaut. They're obviously the best team in the league. But I believe Sabrina Ionescu she had a 32, 9 rebound and 11 assist game. She's playing out of her mind. Breanna Stewart was second in the league in scoring starting this week. The Liberty had the firepower to match up with Las Vegas, and I think they're going to get them tonight. I think they'll get them. So thanks for that, Hoop Baller Scoop. Oh, what's up, Steph? Good to see you, man. Steph Devereaux, my man, my Mella. What, Steph, were you at that party? Or where did I see you? I saw it, man. Where did I see? I can't. Was it at the Nesbitt's party? If it was, let me know. But yeah, I don't have any more questions. Looks like I got through all the questions. But I just want to touch base with you guys because we hadn't been on here in a while. And, you know, things are a little bit slower. Now, I got a suggestion from a listener, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to make a list of the guys, the Big Ten players who are in the summer leagues that are coming up and where they're playing and who has a really good chance of making that particular roster. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of research. Give me over the holiday weekend. I'll start coming back next week because the Las Vegas Summer League is coming up pretty quickly. I think it starts a week from this particular weekend, if I'm not mistaken. So I'll start to get those out, and we'll start to keep this summer college basketball love going, okay? Thank you so much for tuning in. You guys are always great. Again, if you want to join the tribe, you can text me, 312-847-2739. You can go to the email list, stephenbardo.com/college-basketball-newsletter, or go to Bardo's Breakdown group on Facebook. Join the group. It's 3 simple questions. It's easy. No problem. Just be nice, please, and be respectful. That's all we ask. All right. Hope you guys enjoy the show. If you're in Chicago like I am, stay indoors. We're getting ready to have a thunderstorm, so hopefully that'll clear out some of this haze and smog that we've been experiencing the last 3 days. But please take care of yourself. It's not something to fool with. You probably don't need to be outside working out, riding a bike, anything like that. So please take care of yourself. And until next time, you guys enjoy your holiday weekends. Have a safe, fun holiday weekend, and hopefully you get a chance to spend it with those that you love. Until next time, holla, y'all.